Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I've been doing a lot of vlogs recently, and many people were asking me like to do videos about Canada and all those things. I just didn't get the situation to do it, but right now I have a really good thing. I wanted to explain about this whole visitor visa for Canada and how we got this visitor visa in just 2 weeks. So I just wanted to explain about that in this video, and I'll be doing more Canada videos after this. And also you'll be seeing Monisha in some of the videos after this, not all the videos but some of the videos. We're gonna talk about the visitor visa and how we got it and what was the whole process about it. So that's gonna be this video, and before that please do like, share, comment to the video, subscribe to the channel. Also don't forget to press the bell icon so I get notified for more videos. So let's not wait, we'll see about this visitor visa. So before going into this whole visitor visa thing, I just wanted to explain our situation. So we got married on January 27th of this year, so like 2 months back, and it took us like maybe like 2 weeks to get the marriage certificate and all those things. And before actually submitting this visitor visa or applying for this, we actually finished our entire sponsorship application, which is for permanent residency. That is like a huge list of documents, so gathering those documents took us like another 2-3 weeks, and then we compiled all those things and we submitted the sponsorship application. So our initial plan was to get the visitor visa, apply for it, get the visitor visa, go to Canada, and then submit an inland sponsorship application from within Canada, so that she will also get open work permit. So that was the initial plan. But then like I actually spoke to a consultancy here in Chennai, and they are actually a very big consultancy, but after talking to them they kind of confused me. So they told me that most of the visitor visa applications are getting rejected now. So after talking to that consultancy, I just changed the plan a little bit. So I thought maybe the visitor visa is not going to get approved, because most of even my friends who were applying before in Canada, like for visitor visa for their spouse and all those things, like they were telling like it's getting rejected for most people. So I thought so let's just do the sponsorship from Outland, and then we'll apply for a visitor visa. If we get the visitor visa, we'll go there and we'll just submit a web form and change it into an inland application. Canada only has like one visitor visa, which is for both tourism and like visiting family, friends, and everything. Everything comes under this one single visitor visa. So the documents varies according to why you're coming to Canada. So if you're coming as a tourist, then you're going to submit a different set of documents, or if you're coming to visit your family or friends, it's going to be a different set of documents. So for us, because I'm a Canadian citizen and she's my spouse, the documents which we had to submit was her passport. Obviously those are like general stuff, her passport and the application form. We have to fill it and submit that. And apart from that, it was a marriage certificate, and there is like two different things, two different letters. One is like the purpose of visit, and second thing is the letter of invitation. So letter of invitation should be from the person who's inviting the other person to Canada. So in this case that's me. So I actually wrote a letter which is like very important. That letter is what they're gonna actually read and decide whether they should give you the visa or not. So the letter should basically state that like, and the entire visitor visa, basically your application should state that you don't have any intention to stay back in Canada after your expiry date. So you have to state that everywhere. So even in my letter, I basically just explained that I am working in Canada, I'm a Canadian citizen and all those things. And I just told them, like I just wrote in the letter saying that I'm gonna take care of her expenses when she comes, and I'm also gonna accompany her like when we're coming to Canada. So she's gonna come with me to Canada. I'm a Canadian citizen, so I attached my citizenship certificate, my Canada passport, and also like a letter from my studio where I'm working saying that I'm working there. So it's just an employment letter. So and that letter says like how much I'm earning in a year and all those things.
I think that made a huge difference.
Yeah, so and it's like, and I also explained them that I've been living in Canada for 6 years and I know how to look for apartments and I also mentioned that once she receives a passport request for this application, we'll be looking at rental apartments in Toronto in a specific area, like let's say like Scarborough or something. I mentioned all those things. So it was very detailed. The letter was very detailed. So you just have to basically let them know that you know things. So I'm a citizen there. I've been living there for like 6 years. So I just have to show that. I also explained in the letter saying that we already submitted a sponsorship application, which is not wrong. Like you can have both temporary intent and permanent intent. Like you can have both intentions, but you're gonna clearly state that how long you're planning to stay in Canada on a visitor visa, and you have to let them know that you will leave once the date is over. So I had to put that in that letter too. So I just basically put in that letter saying that she's coming for 6 months right now to just explore Canada, and then like if the sponsorship application is taking longer to process, she'll go back because she's already working, and she'll continue working there till the sponsorship is done. That is my side of letter, which is like the letter of invitation, and the other is the purpose of visit. So in that purpose of visit, you just basically have to show proof that you'll come back to your country. So it can be anything like hotel reservation or return flight tickets or anything like that. But in our case, we didn't book any return flight tickets or anything. So we just wrote another letter from her perspective saying that we got married on this day, like we've known each other for like 10 years or more than 10 years and all those things. What I basically wrote in that letter is I'm already working full time in India, and I can only stay there for like 6 months because I cannot I have to come back and join my work again, like, and they don't allow remote work from outside India and all those things. So one other document which she also sent was her payslip. I think it was just like last 6 months of pay stubs, basically showing that she has regular income, and apart from me taking care of her finances, she also has some finance too, like, so she can just spend when she's in Canada. So you can also show that, even if your spouse is unemployed, she doesn't work here in India, like, you just have to show your proof, and you just have to declare that you will take care of the expenses during her stay, so we did both. We submitted both her pay stubs and my employment letter, and I also told in the letter saying that I'll take care of the expenses. So basically, you just have to let them know that you will come back, and you have to come back. There's no other way. You have to come back to your country after your visa expires. So that is like the only condition what you have to prove when you are applying for a visitor visa. And when we applied, I think the processing time was around like 70 days. That's what was given on the Canada website. And the fees for this was it was $100 for the application and $85 for biometrics. So total it's $185. So $185 is gonna be around 10,000 rupees. So we submitted the visitor visa on March 2nd, and we just left it. Like, we thought, our mindset was basically, if we get the visitor visa, we can go early to Canada, or we just have to wait for like 12 to 18 months for the sponsorship to process. So that's gonna take this entire year. So, but I was okay with it, and she was also okay with it. So we submitted the application on March 2nd, and immediately the next day we actually got the letter for biometrics. So she has to go to this VFS. VFS is the visa office in India. So anywhere in India you have to go to VFS for all these services. So we went to VFS, and she gave her biometrics, and the biometrics was completed on March 7th. So we gave it on 3rd, and it was completed on 7th. So basically, biometrics is to check your background, to do your background check, any criminal activity and all those things. So the background check and biometrics were completed on March 7th. Yeah, so March 13th, we were just randomly checking, and she checked her email.
I did not randomly check. I just woke up to that mail.
Yeah, so she got an email, and she just got up and she opened the email. So you basically get an update on your email saying that there's a new message. Basically, you don't get the status. You just get the application. Yeah, it just says like there's an update on your application. Yeah. It just doesn't say like what was the update. So we have to log in and see. So we just got up and we logged in, and we saw like my guess was either you get the passport request immediately, or you just get the rejection letter. Like, so if you get the rejection letter, they're gonna explain like why they rejected. So this day we just woke up, and I logged in, and I saw like, and basically I saw there are like different sections in that login portal, and it just says like each section has like different things like medical exam, background check, and all those things. And the final thing was like final decision. It says like it was your application is approved. I scrolled down, and I saw like the passport request. So it just took like from March 7th to 13th. It's like just 7 days from the biometrics to the passport request. It just took like 7 days. And in the passport request, it just said send your passport. So we had to go to the VFS office again and submit the passport. And they also said that they'll only be giving the visa validity up to the expiry date of her passport. So her passport expiring in 2029. So they gave the visa till 2029, which is like 6 years from now. But even if you're applying for a visitor visa, let's say your spouse or your relative or anyone, except for your parents, like your brother or sister or anyone, usually if you have a relative in Canada who's a PR or a citizen or something like that, you're usually gonna get a 10-year visitor visa. So if you have 10 years validity on your passport, they're gonna give it for 10 years. So in this case, we only got it for 6 years because the passport is expiring in 2029. So yeah, it was a multiple entry visa, so she can just go and come back. Multiple entry visa till 2029. We submitted the passport on March 20. No,
what's the date?
Sorry, we got the request on March 13th, and we submitted the passport on March 14th. On 21st, we received the notification on PS saying that it's ready for collection. So we went and received it. So the entire process took just 21 days. So it's like 3 weeks from the time we submitted. We submitted on March 2nd and we got it on 21st. So it's like 20 days. So, but the processing actually said it's going to take like 70 days.
But I think a lot of visitors visa actually got rejected.
Yeah, it is true to an extent, but it depends on your situation. Like the only main thing what we understood from this was do not show any intention saying that you're gonna stay back in any of those letters, like letter of explanations. Even if it doesn't matter, even if you don't show your return tickets or anything like that, if you're writing a letter, just state that you're gonna come back once your visa is over. Like that's like the important point. And the second point is show them proof that you have enough money, for the length of your stay. So these are the only 2 points you need for visitor visa, because a visitor visa is basically a temporary visa. So you cannot really tell them like, I'm going to go as a visitor and then I'm going to apply for PR and stay there for permanently. Even if that is your intention, you're not supposed to say that in that letter. So in our case, like we already submitted this sponsorship. So
I think the amount of transparency that we showed in our letter also helped us maybe, because we were very transparent.
Yeah, and like just be transparent and realistic and just tell them the truth in that letter, like, and don't like bluff or anything like that. So yeah, because in our case, like we already submitted a sponsorship application which is actually for PR. So that is like completely opposite to a tourist visa. So we did mention that, but on top of that, we just told them like we're gonna come back. We're only gonna stay for 6 months. Even if that is not true, the plans might change. She might stay for longer. It doesn't matter. Like you just have to be clear in that letter. You just have to state that how long you're gonna be there and what you're gonna do after that. So. Just state your plans clearly in that letter. I think that's pretty much it. Like that'll get you the approval. Because I even remember her saying that one of her friends, like they tried for visitor visa for like 3 or 4 times and they got rejected. I don't know how that happened. You might get the approval easily if you are a PR compared to if you're on a work visa, because you as a person working in Canada, your visa itself is a temporary visa, and you're on top of that you're bringing another person. So they're gonna check more. It's gonna be much more difficult than a PR applying for it. And also on top of that, I'm a citizen. Like I'm like one step ahead even. So it was just a very simple application for them, because it's always like this, like citizen, PR, and then like temporary resident. So if you are a temporary resident, you need to be more careful when you are writing the letter and all those things. So, I'll actually do a separate video for what we did to submit the sponsorship application, and I also will explain what happened with me and the consultancy and what was the conversation. So yeah, that's pretty much it, and I guess this video will be useful, and if it was useful, please do like, share, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel. Also don't forget to press the bell icon so I can press and post more videos. So that's it for today. I'll see you guys soon with another video. Till then, it's Monisha and Monisha. Bye bye.
Bye.
Hi, so loose.